Hey everyone, welcome to episode 134, Brew Talk with Mr. Beer. My name is Robert Lewis. I'll be your host for today's show. Appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in, watch our video. It's late in the day than we normally do these. Usually I get them done in the morning. We're hoping to have a different plan today to release something different, but transparency, things happen, man. Things come up, didn't function as properly, so we're pushing it to later this week. So I'm going to give you a heads up. Keep it on the website tomorrow night, and keep it on your inbox Saturday. Tomorrow night or Friday, keep it on your inbox Saturday. We'll be announcing something new. Keep it on social media Friday for sure. We'll be announcing something new on social media on Friday. So without further ado, we'll dive into today's Brew Talk topic. It's mostly for new brewers. I thought holidays coming up. Thanksgiving's next week, which is freaking insane. 5 reasons why you should homebrew. I think this will be of importance to people, and maybe there's some home brewers out there that are home brewing. They're like, oh, that is one of the reasons why I homebrew. So I'm going to try not to read too much here, but bear with me. And we are having some construction outside, so if you hear some background noise, that is construction, because in Tucson we do construction 24/7, 365 days a year. No joke, it's ridiculous. Anyways, 5 reasons why you should homebrew. Reason number 1 is that it saves money. So I'm a big fan of IPAs. If you watch any of our beer tasting videos, those are usually my favorite ones. I'm not a big fan of, I like sours too, but it falls in the boat. They're pretty expensive. So I think they're great beers. One of my favorite IPAs is from local craft breweries in town. Tombstone makes some awesome beer. There's a couple breweries around town as well that makes amazing beer. Tombstone's IPAs though are legit. So if you want a 4-pack of this, it can run from anywhere from like 14. Maybe they get like $20 for a 4-pack, which is wild, right? So you need $4+ of beer. So it's craft beer, it's local, it's all that stuff. But prices of local craft beer, while they taste great, can be a little expensive. So if you wanted to brew an amazing IPA, let's say with Mr.Beer, for instance, that same type of beer would cost you about $1.05 of beer. So you're saving like $3 a beer. That's crazy. Even if we looked at one of our most biggest hop IPAs, like some of our Slipper Socks IPAs, some of the big ones that we got, you'd be looking at a cost of around $2.90 a beer. So if you're drinking like 6 beers a weekend, or like almost 2 4-packs a weekend, you're spending, let's say, $30 a week on beer, $96 a month, $1,100 a year on craft beer. If you're drinking homebrew and you drink 6 beers a weekend, on an average of, let's say, $1.90, that's at $11.40 a weekend. That's $45.60 a month, $547 a year. So you're saving over $600 a year versus home brewing by drinking like higher end craft beer. Now, when you're comparing to like Bud Light and Coors Light and all those beers like that, those are tough to beat on the prices. But if you drink a lot of local craft beer, which is great to support, but you're looking to save money, home brewing is a way to go, because you can brew some awesome beers. Reason number 2, know your ingredients. Like many people nowadays, especially with myself, I'm very cautious and curious about what I put into my body. Food, drinks, all that stuff. I want to know where it comes from, what it is, make sure it's got enough weird stuff in it, It can give you cancer 30 years from now, like they're putting Roundup in it or some weird stuff like that. But anyways, most of the time, stuff on labels I can't pronounce. You grab like any package from the grocery store, you read that ingredient pack, and you're like, what in the hell does this word say? I have no idea. So, like and you'll notice with most breweries, especially like mainstream breweries like Bud Light, some of those big guys, they don't list their ingredients on the can. Lately they have, I've seen the marketing change of that, but a lot of times they don't. Some of them add clarifying chemicals to make the beer look clear, and all of them add like stabilizers to extend the shelf life of the beer. These are chemicals they're adding to the beer to help it look brighter, be clearer, or to last for longer on the shelf, which is not super cool. They don't put that on their packaging, but whatever, it is what it is. With home brewing, you know exactly what you're getting in your beer. So with Mr. Beer, you can trust that you're going to have the best ingredients to brew with. All of our ingredients are made from all natural barley from Australia. Cooper's owns, they do all the malted barley. They work closely with all the grain fields. They do all of that stuff. And that's what we use. So all you're using is Mr. Beer malt extract, which is malted barley, hops, water, and yeast, and that's it. Now you can add additional adjuncts such as hops, which we source most of our hops. All of our hops come from the U.S., or yeast, which obviously most of those come from different places, but most of them come from the U.S. Or any other ingredients you want to make your awesome beer. So you're getting home brewing, you know what ingredients you're using, you know what you're getting, you know you're getting the best quality you can get. Reason number 3 to home brew is you can create your own brew. So it's like brewing your own beer can be extremely rewarding. Creating your own custom recipe is a whole other thing to itself. Once you get all the experience done down the road, get your steps down, you get your stuff down, you can start creating your own custom brews. You know, I remember the first recipe I created, this was years ago. I worked in Mr.Beer for over 10 years now. This was probably 2 years in. I wanted to make some super hoppy IPA. So I just got all kinds of random hops and threw them together. And, you know, the result was not super great. You know, at mad scientist, zero research, I just winged it. Kind of sucks. So I was like, well, I'm going to try it again after I learned a little bit more. And, you know, I did it the right way. Tasted good. So I did a little research, picked some bittering hops I would pair all together. A nice 45-minute boil, 2 ounces of hops. The results were amazing. I think that was an old recipe on the site. I think it was a Batman and Robin IPA. I think is what we called it. But anyways, create your own recipe. It's all kinds of cool stuff in there. That is reason number 3. Reason number 4 is have fun. Brewing beer is always a good time. Drinking beer is even a better time, as everyone knows. So, you know, if you're brewing beer, have some friends over, listen to some music, drink some beers, have a chat. Make sure you pay attention to what you're doing, obviously, but just have a good time. I mean, I think, you know, personal note, I got married 8 years ago now, which is pretty cool. But for our wedding, I decided to homebrew beer. So I brewed like 20 gallons of beer. We had 4 beers on tap. It was a pretty cool thing. And I remember everyone talked to me during the wedding about the beer. People I saw like years later about the wedding talked about the beer. It was the craziest thing ever. I remember that they were filming it and my dad's on camera and they said, what do you have to say to the bride and groom? Oh, I love the Pilsner. That's what he said. So yeah, everyone loved the beer. It's a great social thing. I think it brings people together. Home brewing is just, you can have fun with your friends and family, share your beer, share your rewards, bring them into the hobby. It's a great thing to do. Reason number 5 is you can appreciate good beer. So, you know, once you start drinking beer, you'll learn to appreciate what's good, what's bad beer. I've become a beer snob over the last 10 years. I used to be a hardcore like Bud Light and Lime fan was my jam back in the day. Bud Light Limes, dude. You can put down some of those, some hot wings, you'd be good to go. Now, I'm very selective about what I drink. I like homebrew beers or local craft, and that's it. Other than that, I won't buy anything else if I just choose not to drink it. So you learn to appreciate good beer styles, good beer flavors, good beer aroma, all that good stuff that goes into it. That's going to wrap it up, guys. A little bit of a longer one, but you know, I thought it'd be useful, especially for people that are curious about getting into home brewing, or if you're shopping for a gift for somebody. Mr. Beer is the best way to start. By far, hands down, no questions asked. We'll do a video about that next week. Why you should brew with Mr. Beer or any other beer kit, especially if you're a new brewer or looking to buy a gift for somebody. That's going to wrap it up. Make sure, like I said, you're following us on all social media platforms. We're at Mr. Beer on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Join our Facebook group, Mr. Beer's Brewing Society. Apologize for the noise. The air conditioning came on. Hopefully it's not too noisy in the background. I can never tell till later, but you know, it's almost 4 o'clock here, so time's of the essence. So you hear the construction truck out there revving up. That's going to wrap it up for this week, and I will talk to you guys next week. Cheers.